Hi, this is Dave from the Flowood High School Industrial Arts Program, and today we're going to talk about general shop safety. It's a couple things to think about before you even walk into the shop. Think about, how are you dressed? Do you have long, loose clothes on? Do you have cords from your sweatshirt, cords from your iPhone, whatever, headphones? Do you have cords dangling from you? Do you have any rips or tears in your clothing? Do you have bare skin? Do you have bare feet? You have to think about how you're dressed before you even walk into the shop. General shop safety starts as soon as you reach that door. And once you walk in the door, you need to be prepared for the environment that you're about to come into. So a couple things with shop safety is making sure that you're properly dressed. Making sure if you have anything loose on, that you remove that so it doesn't get tangled up in any of the equipment. If you have long hair, make sure you put your hair up into a pony. Long beard, make sure anything that hangs and dangles, make sure that is removed, strapped down, tied up, whatever you want to do to make sure that it's not going to get caught into a piece of equipment. And then you have to have safety glasses. We have numerous safety glasses. This does not count as safety glasses. These are my glasses so that I can see. They don't count as safety glasses because the lens can shatter if something hard hits against them. It doesn't have any protective on the side. It doesn't form your head like safety glasses are. We do have safety glasses that fit over them. So like here's a pair of safety glasses that fit over your glasses. You can wear ones like these. Actually, I wouldn't wear ones like these because these ones are scratched. They're dirty. I can't even see the screen of the camera right now through these glasses. So it's something else to think about when you get a pair of safety glasses. Make sure the safety glasses fit you. Once you know that they fit you, make sure that you can see out of them. This pair, I mean, they may look pretty cool and just make me look just amazing when I'm wearing them, but you want to make sure that you can see out of them. It's not about appearance, it's about protecting your eyes. So find yourself a good quality pair of safety glasses. We have numerous ones. If you find some that are bad, let me know. We'll throw them away, get new ones, whatever we need to do. But get a pair of safety glasses that fit. They form around your eyes, covering every aspect of your eyes so that material, chips, whatever, doesn't come and ricochet and get in any direction and get into your eye and damage your eye. So you want to make sure that you have safety glasses on when you're in here. And I'm not going to wear them right now because then I can't see through there, but without my other glasses on. Another thing you got to make sure is hearing protection. In the shop, there's going to be a lot of loud noises. You're going to have saws running, drills running, the dust collector system running, and you want to protect your ears. And we have numerous different types of hearing protection that you can get. The most common one that we have here, common packet, it comes with a pair of earplugs, and they're just foam earplugs that you twist together, you roll up, you just twist them together, you roll them up, and you put them in your ear. And it protects your hearing. I also have a pair like this that comes on I don't even know what you call that, but they're earplugs. I can keep them around my neck when I'm not using them, and when I'm ready to use a saw, I can put them on. So there's ones like that. There's also the ones that I use the most. These are my Bluetooth earphones, ear protection. So these are sound canceling, Bluetooth, so I can listen to the radio while I'm working on the tools, but it protects me. It protects me from the sound of the equipment from damaging my ear. So those are what I like to use the most, but it's something that you guys won't be able to use in the shop because you're not going to be listening to music. I only use these when I'm working by myself. Otherwise, I'll be using these or these type of earplugs. And they're in my office anytime we need to make sure that we're protecting our ears. Another thing is to make sure that you're not wearing any open-toed shoes when you come in here. Don't wear sandals, not even Crocs. Anything that's got skin exposed on your feet, you shouldn't be wearing them. Because if you drop a tool drops off the edge of a bench, a tool, a board, anything, and that hits your foot, it's going to cut your foot, it's going to bruise your foot, it could even break your toes, it could cause punctures, blood, whatever. And so you want to make sure that you're wearing the proper footwear. And also you need to make sure you are wearing something that is slip resistant. Because in here on the concrete floor, it's a smooth concrete floor, you get a fine sawdust on the floor, now that gets to be just like ice. And you walk in, and just walking in a clear, open area, you can hit a spot of that sawdust, and it's just like you're on ice and your feet go out from underneath you. So you really got to make sure that you have the proper footwear. Another thing talking about feet is making sure that the work area that you're working around, you make sure that that area is clean. Make sure there's no clutter on the floor, no chunks of wood. Make sure the sawdust is swept up. Make sure you have a clear work area all the way around where you're going to be standing and walking. Make sure there isn't any cords lying on the floor, hoses lying on the floor, anything that you can trip over. Make sure everything has been cleaned up and has been removed so it's not going to cause an accident. And when you're working on any tool, make sure that you have all debris removed from that area as well, so that that debris doesn't get vibrated and hit the saw blade on a table saw or the bandsaw or the drill press or whatever and cause a piece of wood to go flying across the shop. Make sure that when you're in the shop that you have the proper lighting. You don't want to be working in the shop and where it's just bright enough where you can barely see what you're doing. You don't want to be in here working with a headlamp on and just so you can just see what you're doing in your area. Make sure the shop is properly lit so that you can see exactly what you're doing. You can see not just your area, you can see everything clearly around you. That way you can be aware of any potential dangers that are around you. In the shop, one thing we want to make sure that we do to help on the dust that's going to collect on the floor and in the machines and everything, make sure that the dust collector is being used at all times. If you're going to start a tool, make sure you turn on the dust collector. It doesn't even matter if you are even just using the palm sander, turn on the dust collector. It'll help suck up some of that dust that's floating through the air. You need to realize that you're not the only one in the shop. There's other students in the shop working with you. So pay attention to what you're doing. Be aware that when you're using a tool, make sure that you let someone else know that you're using that tool so that way you don't put them in a spot where they're going to be in danger. Make sure that they have their eye protection on, their ear protection on, whatever it is. Make sure that you're aware of everybody else. And since there is more than just you in the shop, there's numerous other people that are going to be in the shop. One thing that you cannot have in a shop is horseplay. Horseplay of any kind. You cannot be pushing, shoving, running, goofing off in any way. When I tell people this is, if someone is working on, let's say the table saw and they're cutting a board, and you're across on the other side of the shop and you and somebody else is goofing off, causing a ruckus, playing around, goofing off, making loud noises, and now you distracted the person that's using the table saw and they cut their finger off because they got distracted by you. I will tell you every time that that's 100% your fault because you caused the distraction. So don't be the reason someone else gets hurt. We have to think about safety in the shop at all times. It is vitally important, and screwing around, it causes so much danger. When you're handling pieces of material, make sure that you are using your partners, other classmates. Make sure that you have someone else help handling the material with you so you don't hurt your back, pull a muscle, whatever. Make sure you're using other people to help you. If you're cutting on the table saw, make sure you have somebody that's receiving the board. If you're grabbing sheets off of our sheet rack or lumber out of our lumber rack, make sure there's somebody else there to help you so you're not doing it all by yourself. And I would stress this, that make sure that at all times when you're working on something, don't work on it by yourself. Make sure that you have a partner, because we have a class full of students. So make sure that you have a partner that you're working with, so you're working on the equipment together. That way somebody there is watching out for you, you're watching out for them, you're holding each other accountable. So make sure that you team up with somebody and you work together and speak to each other, communicate each other, help each other out. If something looks wrong, if you notice you're using a tool that looks wrong or sounds wrong or something just doesn't seem right, stop. Whatever you're doing, stop. Shut the saw off, shut the tool off, stop whatever you're doing, and come and get me. And say, hey, you know what, there's something, Mr. Odie, there's something wrong with this tool, or something doesn't seem right, whatever it is, and we'll take a look at it. I want to make sure that you just stop immediately, because you may just stop an accident from happening. So pay attention to the way the tool is supposed to work and sound, and when it doesn't sound that way, when it's not working that way, just completely stop. Hit the power, shut it off, and stop, and then come and get me. If you don't know how to use a tool, if there's a tool in the shop, when you look around and there's a tool that you don't know how to use, don't just go up and use the tool. Okay, everyone has to pass safety tests on every piece of equipment in here. But that doesn't always mean, because you got 100% on the safety test, it doesn't mean that you know how to operate the tool. So if you don't know how to operate it because you've never used it, come and ask for help. Don't just go up to a tool and start using it thinking that, okay, well, I can figure it out. Because sometimes when you're trying to figure it out, that's when fingers get lost. That's when blood starts to ooze out of some portion of your body, and we don't want that to happen. That's when eyeballs get poked out and you get blind. So we want to make sure that that's never going to happen. If you don't know the safety of a tool, if you look at every tool in here, for the most part, there are safety rules that are by the tool. There are caution signs that are up by most of the fixed pieces of equipment. Make sure you read those. Ask questions or say, hey, Mr. Rody, can you show me how to use this again? Show me how to use this safely again. And we'll review it as many times as it takes, because I want to make sure that you're safe at all times. It doesn't matter if you're here in the shop or you're in your own shop at home. Make sure you know how to use it safely. You can always Google it, YouTube it, whatever, and that piece of equipment that you have, and there's numerous videos out there to see how to use a tool safely. Safety is the first and very most priority. Make sure that you're safe. And everything else is, when you're in here, it's a time to learn. It's a time to be creative. It's a time to be critical thinkers as you're building projects and designing projects and making something amazing. So have a blessed time, a fun time when you're in the shop. And fun, for me, is creating, is building. That's an amazing time. All right, thanks guys.